How did economic ties shape Civil War Union arguments? Imagine a country where every part depends on another to keep running smoothly. That was the reality of the United States before the Civil War. The North and South were deeply connected through trade, finance, and shared infrastructure. The North had a booming industrial economy, making textiles, tools, and goods. The South relied heavily on cotton exports, which were vital for textile mills in the North. This mutual dependence meant that if one side left, both would suffer. Union leaders argued that breaking apart would cause chaos in trade and banking systems. For example, Southern cotton exports helped fund Northern industries, and Northern banks financed Southern plantations. If the South seceded, these financial ties would be severed, making it harder for businesses to operate. This could lead to economic downturns on both sides, affecting millions of jobs and livelihoods. The Union also pointed to the importance of national infrastructure like railroads, canals, and telegraph lines. These systems connected the North and South, allowing goods, messages, and people to move quickly across states. Federal support had built these networks, and they were essential for economic growth. If the South left, these connections would weaken, slowing commerce and making the country less competitive internationally. Another key point was property and contract protection. The Union said that secession would invalidate debts and agreements that crossed state lines. This would create uncertainty for investors and businesses, discouraging new investments. Only a strong, united government could ensure that property rights and contracts were respected, keeping the economy stable. Union supporters also warned about economic isolation. If the South formed its own country, it might impose tariffs or trade barriers that hurt Northern industries. At the same time, the North would lose access to Southern markets and resources. They believed that economic unity was vital to keep the nation strong and prevent regions from becoming weaker and more vulnerable. These economic arguments were more than just about money. Leaders used them to rally support for the war effort. They emphasized that preserving the Union meant protecting jobs, businesses, and the overall economy. They justified measures like raising taxes, printing money, and expanding federal power to fund the war and keep the economy stable. In the end, the Union believed that economic ties were the backbone of the nation's survival. They saw these connections as vital to maintaining a shared identity and future prosperity. Protecting these economic links was seen as essential to keeping the country united and strong.